Hello my friends, Jacob's here one more time, back on the old set. Feels like home, because it is my home. This is just a room in my house. I'm glad that you pressed play. I'm glad that you're spending a little time with me today. I'm sure that you're very interested to find out about the birthday boy himself. And I'm not just talking about me because I just had the old birthday where I turned 52 years old. I'm talking about KanYe. Yeah, the guy who changed his name legally to Ye, which is the light, which supposedly told the world that he was leading a revolution, the Jesus is King revolution. He was going to lead people to Christ. I've been a little critical of the man over the years. I don't want to say too critical, but it's kind of like I saw a lot of this stuff coming, because when you have a person who's representing God, when you represent God, you're kind of held to a pretty high standard. So you have to act accordingly, right? Because you don't want to put stumbling blocks in front of people. He put a big stumbling block in front of a lot of people that consider him to be, well, we'll say a loving Christian, when he started talking about how he loved the probably one of the worst people that we know on the planet. And he started, doing all sorts of weird things, like walking around in a German police officer outfit and dressing his girlfriend up. I'm not saying he dresses his girlfriend up, but she dresses up pretty interesting, likes to wrap her face up and everything else. On their way to church, she dressed up like this, and people were saying that she looked a little bit like, like a condom, which, it's not the nicest thing to say, but it's a weird outfit to wear to church. These things are strange. I also thought that a couple of things that KanYe's done has been strange. He walked on water. He did the service. Remember, he was doing the service all the time. And I've been on a little bit of a grimace kick. I don't know if you remember. But he did a lot of stuff, and they were all dressed in purple all the time. He also did an opera called Nebuchadnezzar, which was pretty interesting because all of this seems to tie in to all of these world events, prophetically speaking. The big question on everybody's mind is, what was he thinking having a birthday party? His birthday was June 8th. He just turned 46 years old, where he's a bunch of, women that are, they look like they're undressed. They're probably wearing something, but they were, serving sushi on top of them. This video right here, I shared on Twitter for a little while, and then I took it down because I just felt like it was just so demeaning and demoralizing and everything else. And some people even said, well, maybe it's not that big of a deal because maybe the women are making a lot of money. And I'm like, well, there's more to life than money. And we shouldn't have to be demeaned in such a way where, we're like a glorified plate. The irony is this tradition, which is a Japanese practice. Supposedly they did this back in the samurai's day, called Nayo Taimori. And not many people are really calling him out on the fact that he's supposed to be a Christian. He's supposed to be leading people to the Lord. This isn't the way to do it. He hasn't been exactly acting, I would say, in a rational manner for a while. One could worry about his mental state. I don't know. I don't want to judge the man to be wrong, but I'm starting to think this is all some kind of a this is all some kind of a mind bend thing. I just feel like it's a little bit of an operation of the old psychology. When he wore that NASA hat, that was like right before all that stuff went down. I don't know if he's really hurting that much, because the whole thing that happened with Adidas seems like I think that lawsuit went away, and I think Adidas is offloading the all of his Yeezy shoes. So I don't think he's going to lose any money. I don't know. I don't know the ins and the outs of this. Maybe it's been devastating for him. It's probably hard for his children. His child North was there, showed up with his girlfriend in that picture there. I thought North looked like, maybe their face needed to be washed or something. But that's besides. Just because I have 4 children, right? And I would always be like, hey, go wash your face. You got something on your face, some schmutz or something. But North was videotaping KanYe right before, I guess, the party or during the party or anything else. It looked like he was rapping and everything else. It's kind of cool to see, father and his child bonding. Little awkward, to know that your dad's going in to eat sushi off of naked people. I don't know why there's so many people that really were like behind Ye and this whole Christian universe on YouTube here. So many of the big channels are like, oh, he's doing good things for this and he's doing good things for that. And, you know, we got to forgive him his past and everything else. But you looked at some of the things that he was doing, and it's easy to kind of judge a tree by its fruit. You judge a tree by its fruit. So the question is, does he still consider himself like to be a leader of the faith? He does, ironically. I also think that he may even still want to be president, which is just very strange. You know, his appearances. You know, you have yet to hear Joel Osteen come out and say, I regret having him at Lakewood Church. Because he had him at Lakewood Church when he was doing this whole Jesus is King, you know, album, and he was doing the promotion of it. And they performed at the church. And of course, I pointed out that it was like in the form of an all-seeing eye. You know, it looks like a lot of these performances are done in such a very symbolic and just... I've done video after video after video after video on him over the years, kind of saying that he would be the poster boy of Jesus. Not the Jesus that, you know, we're after. Not Christ, not the Son of the living God, but Jesus Barabbas, the one that the people want. You know, I want to preach about God and then eat sushi off of, you know, naked women too, right? That's what the Andrew Tates of the world would say. They would say that there's no problem with this. I see a big problem with this. I see a big problem with this. When we demean each other and we demoralize each other and we reduce people to, I don't know, flatware, there's a big problem, especially when you bring God's name into it. But I'll tell you something, there's a lot of stuff happening prophetically in the world. I'm going to be doing a live show very soon. Whoa, it's going to cover a lot of stuff, and it has to do with the prophecy of Samson. I actually even just did a short that I uploaded today. I'm trying to do more shorts, just trying to do anything I can to you know, better serve all of you and better serve the community on YouTube that promotes, if you do more shorts, supposedly that's going to help the channel. I don't know. I don't know, but I enjoy doing them. So, hey, take a look at the one that I just did about the bees in New York. On June 9th, parts of Midtown Manhattan were shut down because of a beehive. It was very strange. I saw it as significant and prophetic because, of course, I had just recently talked about a beehive and I had just talked about hell on a program that I just did. Very interesting that Venus, on the night of the 12th and the 13th, it's going to be passing on a star cluster known as the Beehive. Now, why I find this to be interesting is a beehive is to do with a collective. And now here days later, we see Queen Bee dancing in her new bee outfit. The bees that were going on reminded me of Samson's bees that was found in the carcass of a lion. And I think of New York City, I think of Trump. And I think of Trump as the carcass of a lion being in New York City right now. I say it's significant. This is the thing. This is what gets me, right? Is that it's hard to find me on certain searches. Like if you go to Google, you try to find me, it's hard to find me. It's like I'm about loving everybody because God was about loving everybody. God's about drawing everybody. God's about looking to the inside and not the outside. It's not, you know, God doesn't want to see human beings reduced to being used as a plate, nude, in front. I mean, how demeaning and demoralizing. Just so sad because that's somebody's sister, that's somebody's daughter, that's somebody's mother, that's somebody's friend. And then that gets out and they're like, hey, is that you, Beatrice? Beatrice, what happened? You know, what happened? You having I made how much money? I made a lot of money. It's like, yeah, but you were nude. People were eating off you. There's something weird going on, Beatrice. I think you should reconsider this. But today, you know, everything's about fame. Can you imagine? You're an up-and-coming TikToker or a YouTuber or whatever, and you get an opportunity to be in the presence of KanYe. This is how people sell their soul. This is what happens. Someone asked me once, you know, what if you sacrificed? Yeah. What have you sacrificed? I've sacrificed a lot. I've lost friends, I've lost family and everything else because of that I believe in love. I've lost great jobs. I've left great jobs because I didn't agree with a non-inclusive manner in which people just want to look down their nose at other people and don't see that people are just lost and they just need a shepherd. I've lost a lot. I've sacrificed, really though, what I've sacrificed, I haven't sold out to make money. I am just getting by here. All right. So if you want to support the channel and you don't want to hear me in the beginning of every video giving you, a couple of minutes plug, which is not a big deal because, we really are having a hard time on YouTube, a lot of us, because of there's an issue with advertising and stuff. If you want to support the channel, best way to do it, you can just hit the like button. You can share the video around. You can make sure you're subscribed. You double check, hit the bell. Remember, I do a show like almost every day. And if you want to support it financially, you can get yourself some merch. You can get yourself a Teach Me the Truth shirt, right? Because that's what it's all about. In the description of the video below, you can get yourself a buckle up. You can get yourself a God's Championship. These are things that you can do to help. You could partner with me. And once I hit that goal, I never said I was going to do this, but I'm going to start doing things where I can just, just get to talk to people more. I'm finding a way to do this. I'm going to do that on Patreon, and I'm going to bring people in from PayPal and also anybody else who supports the channel in a way that's bigger than just hitting the old thumbs up and giving me a like. I want to do something special for all of you when we hit that big mark, because I couldn't get there without any of you. So I want to thank you for that. And if you want to get yourself a copy of The Calling, especially now before the prices, everything is being raised. Amazon raised the prices. And the paper costs more, everything. It's like, this has happened now. There's like 3 times inflation. Get it now while it's on sale. And you can get that in the description of the video below, or just go to Amazon.com and type in The Calling. I love each and every one of you. Enjoy the trailer of my novel. I haven't played it in a while, so you kind of get an idea. And remember, this book that I wrote is about today. All right, so this is an exciting time to be alive, and we're all in this story together. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
September 10th. Mars hangs closer to the Earth than it has in 6,000 years. Like the light that led men from the East to a child in a manger, it could well be a sign of good things to come. Thomas James shall be his name. The world will change because of him. In the small town of Bethel, in a time not unlike our own, a child with a great purpose is born. Years later, alienated by his peers and abused, Thomas suffers a devastating loss. When it appears he has nothing left to live for in the world, this is when his true calling begins. While trying to escape the sinister powers that be, a terrifying vision haunts him. Miraculous events seem to follow the peculiar young man as he struggles to come to terms with what he was born to do. The stage is set. The time is at hand. The truth will rise and a revolution will begin. The startling revelation of who Thomas James is, truly, will change the lives of those around him and set off a chain of events long ago foretold. There is more to this novel than one might think. Inside these pages hides a treasure just waiting to be discovered. So if you've ever wondered if there's more to life, or why it is we suffer, then this story will not only captivate you, it may just open your eyes to a truth that could set you free. Find out what is in us all that makes us heed the calling.